Early history of Lakshadweep is unwritten. What now passes for history is based on various legends. Local traditions attribute the first settlement on these islands to the period of Cheraman Perumal, the last king of Kerala. It is believed that after his conversion to Islam, at the behest of some Arab merchants, he slipped out of his capital Cranganore, the present-day Kodungalore, an old harbor town, Kochi, for Mecca. When his disappearance was discovered, search parties went after him in sailing boats and left for the shores of Mecca, in search of the king from different places. It is believed that one of these sailing boats of Raja of Kananore was struck by a fierce storm, and they were shipwrecked on the island now known as Bangaram. From there they went to the nearby island of Agatti. Finally the weather improved, and they returned to the mainland, sighting other islands on their way. It is said that after their return, another party of sailors and soldiers discovered the island of Amini and started living there. It is believed that the people sent there were Hindus. Even now, unmistakable Hindu social stratification exists in these islands despite Islam. Legends say that small settlements started in the islands of Amini, Kavarati, Andrat, and Kalpeni. First and later people from these islands moved to the other islands of Agatti, Kiltan, Chetlat, and Kadmat. This, the arrival of the Portuguese in India, again made Lakshadweep an important place for seafarers. It was also the beginning of years of plunder for the islands. The finely spun coir was much sought after for ships, so the Portuguese started looting island vessels. They forcibly landed at Amini to procure coir sometime in the early 16th century, but it is said that the people killed all the invaders by poisoning, ending the Portuguese invasion. Legend of Cheraman Perumal is not, however, substantiated. Even after the conversion of the entire islands to Islam, sovereignty remained in the hands of the Hindu Raja of Chirakal for some years. From the hands of the Chirakal Raja, the administration of the island passed on to the Muslim house of Arakal of Kananore around the middle of the 16th century. The Arakal rule was oppressive and unbearable. So sometime in the year 1783, some islanders from Amini took courage and went to Tipu Sultan at Mangalore and requested him to take over the administration of Amini group of islands. Tipu Sultan at that time was on friendly terms with Bibi of Arakel, and after deliberations the islands of Amini group were handed over to him. Thus the island's suzerainty came to be divided as 5 came under the rule of Tipu Sultan and the rest continued under Arakel House. After the Battle of Seringapatam in 1799, the islands were annexed to the British East India Company and were administered from Mangalore. In 1847, a severe cyclone hit the island of Andrat, and Raja of Chirakal decided to visit the island in order to assess the damages and for distributing relief. An officer of the East India Company, Sir William Robinson, volunteered to accompany him. On reaching Andrat, the Raja found it difficult to meet all the demands of the people. Sir William then offered the Raja help in the form of a loan. This was accepted. This arrangement continued for about 4 years, but when the interest started mounting, the English asked the Raja to repay them, which he could not. In 1854, all the remaining islands were handed over to the East India Company for administration. So came the British rule. The Union